Okay. Ita Good morning. It is just about 8 o'clock in the AM of Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2024. In the third summer lunar cycle, Okonokist Otsitsitspi, when the Saskatoon berries ripen. And just at Pavan Park, the north end of Sikuhkotuk, and doing our morning walk. Yesterday the city was working on the road at Pavan Park where we normally go, and I didn't know if they'd still be doing that this morning, so I decided rather than waste the gas to drive to Pavan and find out, we would just come out here. And I need to be out here anyway. Hey, leave that old dead goose stuff alone. I need to come out here anyway because not this Sunday but next, this is where my eco tour for the nature center will be, and the focus this time around will be on fruits and fledglings. So I need to spend a little bit of time out here looking around, seeing what's happening. Like, I'm just noticing that the sweet clover is in flower, which has a really nice kind of vanilla scented and tasting flower. But yeah, I need to look around, check out the different fruiting bushes and where they are, and kind of decide how I want to move my tour group through this park. So this will be one of my preliminaries. I came out on Sunday here with for my walk and talk with Carol, and Tayla came with us on that excursion as well. Let's go back up in the woods if you're done with the water. Tay, are you gonna swim some more? Go ahead. Well, come up. Yeah, I haven't made much for nature kind of videos the last week or so. Mostly because, well, first of all, I've been having no work. Hey, of course, the year that I decided to go fully independent on my own, there's no work to be had. Hey, like, my rattlesnake calls are low. My skunk and raccoon calls are almost non-existent at this point. And I tried branching out, lawn mowing. That's not working. Not getting enough. Good morning.
Good morning. Lovely day.
Yeah, it is.
So far.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna get toasty again. Yeah, we have entered into the midsummer heat, and so we're having, like yesterday, the temperatures were in the high 30s, 37, 38. Pretty brutal, and I'm sure it's going to get that way again today. A big heat wave we're having. It's ripening up all the berries that are going to be ready for my talk in a week and a half or so. But yeah, I need to scout around, and I should give some updates, you know. I have done, of course, a little bit of work. There has been some calls and stuff. So I do get, Tayla, come here. She has to be too friendly and run up to everybody. Stick with me, kiddo. The guy over here with the camera wanting to shoot wildlife photos. Let's go this way, Tay. Or wait, no, we'll have to pass the goats again. The goat herder is out here with his goat herd, and that was a little bit difficult for me to navigate her around him. Hopefully we don't bother the photographer here. We'll see. Yeah, I have done a few things, you know. There's been a Tayla, come! Yeah, she's got to go meet somebody else. Good. Come on. You're too friendly. Well, it's a good thing she's friendly, but not everybody that comes to this park is going to want to meet a dog. Some of them are just here for the nature. Anyway, why don't I let you look at a couple of the recent snake pickup videos that I've got, and then I think at the end of that, I had an occasion where a fawn, one of the mule deer fawns in Paradise, tried to make its way through the steel fencing that surrounds that back edge for snake proofing and got itself caught up in it. So, well, they built a snake fence too low to keep snakes out. It was just right to catch fawns. But yeah, here's a few video segments and I'll think about what I want to say after. Good. So was he right in the street here?
No, we found him just over on, just turning left here around this bend.
All right, I'll go GPS over there. I've got to send, this year I started sending GPS coordinates for all the pickup and release locations to Fish and Wildlife.
A couple of kids nearby, so I said, let me put them in a bucket and get them out of the way, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I got one before.
I know, it's
I got one before for you. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's not really legal kosher, but
Okay.
it works. It's better than leaving him on the street.
Well, we just
you know,
yeah, he's a little one, but I think
the right move. Yeah, the main thing is really just the protection of the snake, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy. Yeah.
Little guy, eh?
Yeah, he's probably, I'm thinking about 3 years old.
3 years?
Yep.
But they're pretty, like he was pretty aggressive. Like he not lunging at me, but you could tell he was more of a.
Yeah, when they're young like that too, they kind of overreact to things.
Okay.
The older ones are more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Look at this beautiful young rattlesnake. I'm so happy that guy pulled him off the road and put him in a bucket, you know, so I could bring him out here. All right. Let's do it. Get him, Hudson. He's fucking with me over. Howdy.
On the middle of the road before I was really run over.
Big bull snake, eh? Yeah. Yeah, big bull snake. Come. You didn't like that. What's that?
Where it went.
Uh-oh.
And this is where it was. I took a picture. And I didn't know if I should close the garage or not, so I left it open.
Oh yeah, they get smashed in the garage doors
So
sometimes.
I'm worried it went inside the garage.
It might have, hey?
Oh, that was just the worst thing.
Oh yeah, he's in your tire.
Stay out of the garages.
Hello. Oh, just a little fawn, yeah. Hey there. Got kind of stuck, huh? Let me see if I can help you. There you go. Are you gonna be okay? Well, at least you're not stuck. Let's go. This park has a lot of berry bushes, which will be good. Not only buckkeep, the chokecherry, which is pretty prevalent everywhere in the coulees in Lethbridge, but also Okanoki, Saskatoon, which you don't find as much. And like here's Saskatoon right now. There's barely any berries on it. I don't know why the Saskatoons never grow too good in Lethbridge, but you just go across the river to Blood Reserve and there's lots of berries. You know, even where I can stand on the Lethbridge side of the river where the Saskatoons suck and then look over at the Blood Reserve and I can see the spot where there's basically, you know, a giant food forest. One of the spots, there's a bunch of them on the reserve. There's just chock full of Okanoki. I think Lethbridge used to be that way. Well, in fact, I know it did because there's pictures of Akukuts in Sundance encampment taking place down at what's now Indian Battle Park in the heart of the city. And that's in the past, that's a berry harvesting camp. So must have been massive Saskatoons down there. I'm betting they just got all taken out by settlers, you know, maybe to what would you call it, deter native people from camping down there, because they continued to, you know, people continued to go camp down there after even the reserve was established and stuff, because that was a spot, you know, that was a spot. This is another important feature of this park, black birch. You can see the little marks on it that were made from napi, in the napi and the gopher story, which I will tell on that tour. But it is the tree that you're supposed to make teepee pegs out of. Today, many people are making teepee pegs out of Saskatoon or chokecherry. There's lots of chokecherry to go around. It's not as good of a peg as this. You make a peg out of black birch, it's going to last forever, and it holds against the wind in ways that the other more flexible pegs do not. There's plenty of chokecherry. If you're cutting down Saskatoon, I think that you're very confused, because there goes a kingfisher. You can hear him chattering. Saskatoon, my understanding is you're only supposed to cut it for making ceremonial instruments, because it's a very, very important food plant. You're not supposed to harm Saskatoon just for no reason. When you got lots of other kinds of wood to choose from, you shouldn't be cutting it for teepee pegs. But not only do you got all kinds of wood to choose from, you got black birch, which is the peg, you know. Anyhow, my 2 cents on that. People are starting to notice I'm getting more grumpy. And that has, I think, many factors in it, not least of which is that I don't have enough work. I think I'm going to have to get a job. And it's weird for me to get a job. I've went all through my life, you know, I've had employment and such, but sometimes that employment has been job, and sometimes that employment has been me, you know, coming into something that's perfect for me, and I just sink in. And yeah, there's lots of small songbirds in here and stuff to look at. Sorry to go off track, but we'll definitely be able to find some fledglings if we come this way. The fact is that mama's got up there has a little morsel in her mouth right now that she's going to go feed a fledgling. I should try to get that on my other camera for you. Hold on. Yeah, I can't see her very well because of the glare. She did have like some insects in her mouth, in the end of her tip of her beak, that she's obviously waiting to feed to a fledgling who's over here somewheres abouts. I'll take a closer look on the tour. Of course, the stuff like this, just noticing and smelling manikapi along the trail here. This is a super strong wild mint. Some people call it horse mint. It's basically like a medicine, hey? Tastes like Buckley's. It's that strong of a menthol. Tastes like Buckley's, and it does kind of the same work for you if you have a cold medicinally. Alright, I'm going to shift back to the other camera again. Yeah, so I'm in a crisis right now. I'm in a financial crisis where in the next year I could stand to lose like my whole life in terms of assets, you know. including perhaps my animals. Because if I have to move out of my house and move into something else, which isn't going to make sense because if I can't pay for my house, I'm not going to be able to pay for anywhere else either. Because like, even say I lose my house and they auction it off or whatever, there's still going to be a huge debt there with thousands of dollars, a month to pay. So my option of rent, I'm probably gonna have to rent like a bedroom, maybe, if I'm even gonna rent anywhere, if I don't just hit the streets, if it comes to that. I'm looking at that as a year out projection potentiality. So I wake up stressed out to that every morning. I've been talking about it on some of these videos, but I've decided to kind of make my nature videos more my nature videos now, and do my personal updates in other places. I might make personal psychological updates here and there out on walks like this. But I'm doing a lot of it right now, like a daily almost, with those video game streaming videos that I put out. And I'm well aware that most of the people that are here on my channel, because of the nature content, are not going to be interested in the video game content. I'm well aware of that. Don't watch it. I had somebody already, criticize me, send me a critique, and tell me that, he doesn't like the video game stream videos, doesn't want to watch me playing video games. It's a waste of his time, it's a waste of my time. So it may be a waste of his time. Don't watch those videos. It's simple as that. Every time I've ever changed anything on this channel, every time something, I've decided to take a different angle, start doing something different in my life, or, add some new content on this channel, I get people commenting and messaging me like that. I don't like the changes. Well, I'm sorry. The changes are going to happen because my channel is kind of a reflection of what's going on in my life all the time. It's a journal. I've been saying this. This channel is not about you. But you could interact with me on this channel. You can learn with me on this channel. You don't have to watch all my content. But while watching my game streaming may be a waste of time for some people, for me, it's not a waste of time, and you shouldn't assume that it is, because that kind of online gaming today is not like the old days playing, Pac-Man or Asteroids or whatever. It's not you versus the computer. It's you versus 100 other actual human beings. And you can play against those people with parties. Like, you can have, I've been able to connect with a couple of my cousins that I hadn't done anything with before, and get online and play games for a couple of hours with them and have a good time and be able to visit. When I'm doing those videos now, I realize that it's a good time for me to put my personal updates, some of my psychological and relational updates and stuff like that don't really fit in these nature videos. Like, it's a non sequitur for me to be talking about it even right now. People are watching this from the nature content, and here I am talking about this stuff. This is going to hopefully be the last time I talk about this stuff on a nature video for a while. If you want to see that stuff, look for videos that are specifically labeled about that content, or check out my game streaming or the memoirs. Those will be the kind of places for those things, but not on these nature videos. I'm starting to recognize that I could you know, separate my content not into different channels like Google had advised me, but at least into different types of videos. And I've done that in the past, you know, when I transitioned from making all fitness and martial arts videos to making nature videos. There, I got lots of complaints about that too. And for a while it was mixed, you know. I was doing martial arts out in the nature and kind of doing crossover videos and stuff. And then I separated it, and I did martial arts videos and running videos and workout videos and nature videos. And so I feel uncomfortable because of the stuff that I want to talk about going on in my personal life, but yet at the same time wanting to make content for you know, for the nature work and the nature lovers. And my Rattlesnakes of Lethbridge Facebook page, I like to nest my videos there. But those, you know, that audience, some of them might want to know, you know, more about me personally, but some of them are just there for the nature content. I appreciate that. I always have, but so I've always felt a little bit unease about adding my personal notes and updates into the nature videos. But that was pretty much the only content I was making for a while, you know, was the nature videos. So that's where I was putting it. And now I have some options that I've opened myself up to, you know. So I'm going to start, you know, talking in those streams more about my personal stuff. And people that are interested in that can go there for that discussion. You don't have to go there to watch the gaming, you know. In a way, in some ways, I think the guy that was critiquing me, it's really just the scenery he had a problem with. Because the content is mostly that same kind of content, my personal updates, you know, stuff about what's going on in my head and my relationships and my household. Come on, Tay. And things that a lot of people wouldn't even put on their social media, but to me this is a journal. And I've ever since social media began with, you know, with well, I first really jumped onto it in Facebook. I've used it as a public journal, and I've appreciated it because I journaled from the time I was 12 years old, and it was always just to myself. And a lot of it got thrown away because I would not like self-critique and not like the way my journal was being written or life change or something, and I tossed a lot of journals. I've still got a bunch of them left, but I tossed a lot of the stuff that I kept from my childhood on. Once I got on social media, it was an opportunity to journal, not for like in my head some kind of future audience down the road that might come across my journal and, you know, have it be informative to them in some way, or, you know, exciting to them or whatever. It was a way to engage that audience, that potential audience right away, and go back and forth with them, have a dialogue with them, and I got hooked. You know, to me, it's perfect doing this, and so I continue to do it, even though people continue to tell me I should keep my personal content off of the net and off of these channels and this kind of stuff. To me, that's what this channel is about. That's what it's there for. That's what I find. That's what I get satisfaction from. I don't get satisfaction just from you know, making topical education videos. I get a little satisfaction from that, but I get more from journaling, and I always have. So that's what I'm doing here. If you don't understand that, after, you know, being a subscriber for a while, I can't help you. But yeah, I'm going on the gaming streams, you know, probably going to continue to do it for several evenings a week. And I'm thinking, you know, the hours between like 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock typically are what I'll try to do, although I may get rattlesnake interrupted here and there and have to work around that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to live discuss with me, that's a good place to do it. You don't have to give any care about the game. I'm playing the game right then, and I'm having a chance to journal my personal updates and interact with people in the game and interact with my YouTube audience. So it's actually a highly social thing, and you know, somebody else who's sitting at home solo watching my YouTube videos, that's not social at all. So don't be telling me I'm wasting my time when you're sitting and just watching your rectangle and not engaging with it. Sorry, I ran out of battery in the middle of my rant, but you get the idea. Let's move on. Yeah, I haven't made a nature video in the last week, like even walked out and I've been on walks almost daily, of course, but I haven't felt like focusing in and getting any of that content. So my mind hasn't been right. And you know, I'm trying to work with that too, but I'm so highly stressed about that financial situation. I'm having panic attacks and anxiety on the almost daily, and then on top of that, I'm depressed from both, I think, you know, the loneliness for having I've always had like strong friendships and intimate friends and intimate partners and stuff, and I'm just by myself every day, almost all day usually. And I don't want to hang out. I want to have life together kind of thing with people, and that happens naturally. You can't force that. Same way, going into good kind of employment can only happen naturally. You can't force it. So when I go out and search for a job, already, you know, I'm looking, it's like I didn't fall into it. The best things in my life, when I was at my most happiest and in peak performance and stuff, was when I kind of fell into my purposes and stuff. When I was doing repatriations, you know, I felt like I had already like fulfilled my life purpose as soon as I brought home the first beaver bundle. But then there was another dozen bundles that I was involved in bringing home, and I was riding on that really high, you know. I was in my right place. That was the perfect thing, the role for me, and I was good at it, and it was a passion. And that transitioned into teaching Blackfoot specific post-secondary, which made a lot of sense for me. And I rode that, you know, at Red Crow College for almost 15 years or something, and you know, was very good at it, got national and international attention for it, and I think myself and my two colleagues there, late Narcissus Blood and the still current Dwayne Mistaken Chief, I think we changed Indigenous education, you know. in those years we were running Guyanese studies there. I think we changed it internationally and brought it back to, you know, more experimenting with learning in situ with traditional activities and stuff, where it was classroom before. We brought it outside, brought it to sacred places, brought it to go harvest berries, you know, did things like this that then all the other post-secondary and even secondary schools start picking up on, you know, and doing. And we taught the teachers up here, you know, we were like literally. So that was a great time in my life. And then I was transitioning from that, you know, like when I got fired from there, which is a big trauma in my life, really, because I was thrown out of having a purpose in that kind of sense. But I had already begun to, well, I was kind of, at that point, I was almost at the peak of getting attention for my rattlesnake work. And so moving into just a focus on doing more wildlife work and stuff like that was another high for me, you know. And all of those things just came naturally. But I think I've done such a good job in my snake work and my skunk and raccoon work and stuff like that. Again, I think I've changed the city of Lethbridge and the perspectives and actions of people to where, you know, unless it's really critical, people aren't calling me for rattlesnakes. And same thing with a lot of the small mammals, you know. And I think there's been population fluctuations in the small mammals. So it's just not, like this year is just not enough work. Maybe I'll get some kind of employment and be working full time to make my money. And then again, that population's going to rebound and I'm going to be overwhelmed between regular work and wildlife work. And the wildlife work, because it's my own, it pays me better than if I'm working for an organization. Like when I was working for SAMIS, which is another one that I fell into, working for SAMIS and running that that Indigenous arts program was perfect for me. In fact, it was my invention. So yeah, I have, you know, at spots in between worked jobs which are different to me, you know, and they're not satisfying like that. And I don't, you know, really want to have to invest myself in a job and miss whatever is my real calling, if I have anything left at this point. I kind of feel purposeless. I feel like I've overstayed my welcome. Not here in particular, which I know not a lot, but there's some people that'll be like, well, just go home to the U.S. then. Like, that's a long time ago. I'm here now, and as far as I know, I'm gonna stick around unless I'm on the streets. Then I'm definitely not gonna be here because I can't winter here in the streets, you know. But yeah, I'm having difficulties, and you know, it's compounded by being alone, not having a partner. Because at least, you know, like one of my friends was noting to me the other day, it's like, you kind of never grew up because you never had kids and stuff. Like I raised Mahoney's daughter, Justine, as my daughter from the time she was 4 until she was 26. So it's not exactly the case that I haven't had kids, but when I broke up with Mahoney, since then Justine hasn't talked to me. So it's like I don't have those kind of people or responsibilities or anything in my life. I don't have grandkids which I might have otherwise had at this point. And that's just the way life went for me. It's not that I tried not to have kids. In fact, I pretty much have never... Hey, Tayla, stop. Very, very rarely have I been protected from having kids. Just gone my whole life and must be, you know, shooting blanks for the most part. I did get Mahoney pregnant once, but it was up in her fallopian tubes, and that just ended up being the end of her ability to get pregnant. So I don't know. And Chelsea was already fixed when I got with her. But anyway, all of that stuff is contributing to my messed up mental state, and I kind of wonder whether or not also, you know, my only having one eye for the past 3-4 years, something like that. My only having one eye, that visual imbalance that I have all the time, I wonder how that's affecting me, you know. But suffice to say, I've got anxiety issues, I've got depression, and it's having an effect all over my life, including on this channel. So that's part of what you see going on with the changes and stuff. But you have to ride with me, because my life, I'm not putting it on an act here, you know. This is me that I'm trying to represent here, and it's important to my project on YouTube that I keep it that way, you know. Anyway, we haven't seen much nature today. I've been too focused on this talk. I guess this will be my my phase out talk for the time being about myself in situ with the nature video. Next time you see a nature video, it's just going to be the nature and the personal stuff. You're either going to see it on the memoirs or on my gaming streams, or, you know, occasionally I might make a video with a specific topic, and you'll see that kind of you'll know when we get in the video right away that this is not a nature video. And it should say in the description anyway. You know, read the descriptions. They'll tell you what's in the video, kind of. All right, let's call that a wrap for this one. And next time you see me outside, I will be showing you some plants and animals and stuff in more detail than today. Again,